Stanford numerous school records while bringing the entire sport to the edge of its seat. Tonight, Ohio State taking aim at a season of great expectations. From Columbus, Ohio, site of this year's Final Four, it's opening night of the women's basketball season. Number 10 Stanford here at St. John Arena to take on the 5th-ranked Buckeyes. Ed Cohen, Christy Winters-Scott with you. Let's meet the starting lineup. Stanford last year making the Final Four in Dallas, but 3 starters are gone. They'll lean on senior Brittany McPhee, who scored over 13 a game last year. The experienced group for Ohio State, Lene Harper, last year's 6th player of the year in the conference. She is in the starting lineup tonight for Kevin McGuff. But Christy, the conversation with the Buckeyes, it certainly begins with the great Kelsey Mitchell.
It begins and it ends with Kelsey Mitchell, the 3-time All-American, 2-time Big Ten Player of the Year, and for the 3rd year in a row, Ed, the preseason pick for Player of the Year in the Big Ten Conference. Kelsey Mitchell, she is ready to show and prove as she tips off her senior campaign with the Buckeyes. Ohio State returns 9 players from last year's run to the Sweet 16, and Kelsey Mitchell told us today during the shooting practice that she's playing free-spirited. She's unconscious on the floor. She's staying in the moment. Last year it affected her. If her shot was off 3 or 4 times, she would back off and stay in her head a little bit. Now she's not letting it affect her. She's not letting that impact her emotions. She's a senior this year. She's on, like she said, autopilot, if you will, mentally. She is ready for the moment. She's staying in the moment. Kelsey Mitchell knows this could be a very special year for Ohio State.
Christy, this is the start of something new, but I know you're into the history of the sport. Tara Vanderveer, over 1,000 career wins in 5 years here at Ohio State. She had an amazing run, over 100 wins. She returns tonight to coach a game here in Columbus with Stanford for the first time since leaving in 1985.
Absolutely, and she also played collegiately at Indiana, so her Big Ten ties run deep.
Start of a brand new season for the Buckeyes in Cardinal, and away we go in a top 10 matchup here in Columbus at St. John Arena.
Ohio State starting out in man-to-man, applying pressure, and that's something that Kevin McGuff said that Ohio State needs to continue to improve upon, their defensive attention to detail.
Mavunga defending, shot altered and missed by Kaylee Johnson.
Stephanie Mavunga in the best shape of her collegiate career, shedded about 15 pounds, changed her diet.
And her first shot of the season is off the mark, but after transferring from North Carolina, big expectations for number 1 in white for Ohio State, and Harper as well with the steal. Here come the Buckeyes. Harper trailing the play, and the rebound's corralled by McPhee.
Well, that's something Ohio State wants to do. They want to push the pace, get up the floor, get the ball on steal situations and live ball turnovers from Stanford.
McPhee, tough shot, and she drains it, in the Cardinal on the board for the first time this season.
You know, I went to McPhee's Instagram, and it was National Smile Day, and she had no smile on her face, holding a basketball. That was a cold-blooded shot. She is the leader this season after losing so much firepower last year. And Stanford went back to the Final Four for the 13th time in program history and the 7th time in 10 years.
I did not know that.
Yes.
National Smile Day.
Yeah, it was a couple of weeks ago, but it was very cute. I just thought it spoke to her personality.
Mitchell, first shot of the season, count it, and a foul. And Kelsey Mitchell will go to the line for a chance at 3, fouled by Alexa Romano.
Yeah, Kelsey Mitchell, she's left-handed, so she's going to come off of that action with that left hand and just drop in that floater. No rim. It's just such a sweet, soft touch that she possesses, the senior, ready to do big things this season in the Big Ten.
Christy, we spoke to her before the game earlier today at shoot-around. Her mindset, knowing the Final Four is in Columbus. Mavunga's going to the line after the rebound. And Mitchell said this team, there's the chemistry, so many playing together last year, and they're just taking it one step at a time.
Right, and you can't look down the road. It's November, so you have to keep things in perspective. But what you do have to understand is that everyone is on the same page in terms of the approach and the mentality that it takes to win games.
Kevin McGuff, 5th year leading the Buckeyes, perhaps his best team third time in school history they've had a preseason ranking in the top 5.
And it's exciting. They're on the top 5, and you don't put a lot of credence into the rankings, but it does give you a kind of pat on the back because you've been working so very hard. But the Sweet 16 was where the road ended in the postseason for the Buckeyes last year.
Oh, well defended by Mavunga. And off the block, here come the Buckeyes with a 3-2 lead. Here's a kick out, catch and shoot for 3. Das, too much. Mavunga got it to Harper. Late whistle, but a foul is going to send Lene Harper to the line for Ohio State.
We spoke to Kevin McGuff at practice this morning, and we asked him, what things do you want to see from your team? And he said, rebounding the basketball. And that's just not on the defensive end. That's on the offensive glass. It's on Mavunga on the free throw line. Getting to the offensive boards. Keeping possessions alive.
That was the second foul on Kaylee Johnson, so immediately Tara Vanderveer goes to her bench.
And Maya Dotson.
Johnson exits. Freshman Maya Dotson comes in along with sophomore Anna Wilson for the Cardinal.
Depleted in terms of experience on the Stanford bench, but not in competitive fire.
They are really high on Dotson and freshman Kiana Williams. Expect to see her for the first time as a collegiate tonight. Here's Dotson, short jumper, too much. It's battered around and won by the Buckeyes.
Tara Vanderveer said she just wanted to see her team compete on every single possession.
Mavunga couldn't connect. Follow-up try, good off glass for Sierra Calhoun.
Sierra Calhoun is going to be the X factor. Transfer from Duke. The foul was called there on Ohio State on that drive.
And the foul on Asia Das.
Well, this is why Sierra Calhoun is so invaluable to the Buckeyes roster. She keeps possessions going. She doesn't give up on plays, broken plays. It doesn't matter. She's right there to clean things up for you.
One more free throw coming for Marta Snezik, the junior for Stanford. Last year, she started 9 games, and amazingly, in almost 25 minutes per game, averaged over 4 assists. She is a playmaker, no question. Harper on a blow-by, short. Gets the rebound. Reset, intercepted by McPhee. Cardinal with numbers. It's Smith, the veteran, to the rim.
And Smith, another bookend in terms of the returning experienced players for the Cardinal. She and McPhee.
Through the legs, Calhoun drains a 3, and that's what she does best.
Don't sleep on Sierra Calhoun. Play up on her. But you've got to respect her speed as well, because she can get by and finish. But that was just a terrific move, stayed on balance and nailed it.
9-6 Ohio State here in the first quarter. Tough shot for Smith. Well defended by Mavunga, even with some contact. Mitchell, long 2, counted with her foot on the line.
Kelsey Mitchell had her foot on the gas pedal and then let off of it and let up another soft touch jumper. That's just pretty stuff by Kelsey Mitchell. Not shy at all offensively. Led the Big Ten in scoring last year with 23 points a game.
Buckeyes will get the ball back. Foul taken by Marta Snezik. It's already 4 fouls on Stanford here in the first quarter. One more comes, and the Buckeyes will be in the bonus early.
Ohio State has been banging the offensive boards. They've also been very aggressive to the rim. As Mavunga gets one to go from the high post.
I know you can't wait to see her development this year, given what she did in the summer to get in much better shape.
Well, she's a terrific cook. She could be on the Food Network and get some things done. But she really changed her diet as another paint point for the Cardinal side. But she started eating raw and some salmon and all kinds of good things.
You're making us all hungry. Speaking of which, Mitchell drains the 3. Active run of 8 straight games now with the 3-pointer.
Shots going up quickly for Ohio State, something Tara Vanderveer told us today. They have to concentrate on their transition defense and can't give up easy looks like that one.
McPhee to the rim. Backdoor cut set up by Smith.
help side defense. When you're the help, you're right at the basket line. If you're on the lane line on the opposite side, you're going to be too late to rotate and contest.
6-point lead for the Buckeyes. Calhoun steps back for three. Almost got the bounce. Mavunga, second chance for Harper, and the Buckeyes cash in. Well, Sneezik a bit shaken up there, fell down the backcourt. Now rejoins the play for Stanford.
Looks like she got a slippery spot there on the court.
Dotson's free of Harper, and the freshman knocks it down for the Cardinal.
Oh, I just love her game. She can hit that high post shot. She's nimble-footed on defense as well, and that's what you'd like to see, especially in your freshman.
Top 8 recruit in the country. Harper's denied there by Smith, but it's going to stay with Ohio State. Start of the women's basketball season here in Columbus, and the Buckeyes. Women's basketball on BTN is brought to you by State Farm, here to help life go right. Columbus, home of this year's Women's Final Four in late March. Ohio State, 3+ mile nationwide arena here at St. John Arena. Their former home 20 years ago, leading Stanford in the early going. Ed Cohen, Christy Winters-Scott, our entire crew on BTN. Buckeyes off to a good start, 7 for their first 15. Harper's denied there by McPhee, and the ball out of bounds. It will stay with the Buckeyes with 9 to shoot.
What a great anticipation play off the ball by McPhee, rotating over and getting a full hand on that one, throwing it out of bounds.
She blocked 34 shots last year, and keep in mind, Erica McCall graduating, drafted by the Indiana Fever. McPhee's now the big shot blocking presence.
Yeah, Stanford set a school record last year with 212 blocks as the ball goes out of bounds off of Mavunga.
Stanford began this game 2 for 6, but they've hit their last 3 shots. Tarp Vanderveer telling us before the game they know Ohio State can score. They have to match that output.
Exactly, and the pace is going to be very important for Stanford to be able to keep up with Ohio State in terms of push.
Oh, nice cut backside by Dotson, but pass off her hands and out of bounds.
And that was a tough one to handle. Dotson's hands were up, and usually post players, post-to-post passes are usually up high. You know, when that came down at that angle, it was tough to handle.
Third turnover on the Cardinal. Buckeyes with 1. Mitchell looking for space. She has it. Short on the 3. Rebound taken by Sneezik. McPhee attacks to the rim, and McPhee on the drive lays it in.
That was a great secondary there by Stanford as Mitchell.
You can't blink.
She self-corrected. She shot that other one from the corner a little short. Got her legs under her on that one and got it to go.
10 points already for Mitchell. Carrington to the rim, the look-off, and Dejanay Carrington with the bucket. Calhoun, another 3. The Buckeyes have opened this game 4 of 8 from beyond the arc.
Let's start with Kelsey Mitchell having the defense in retreat mode. Off balance, made that extra pass, and you can't get out to the ball fast enough to contest. Calhoun with a blistering start from the floor.
Foul taken here inside. It's on Mavunga. Just a second team foul, and the first on the Ohio State senior.
Calhoun is 3 of 4 from the floor, 2 of 3 from 3. Just getting some really good looks. When you have a guard who can penetrate and break down the defense like Kelsey Mitchell, that's what happens. The floor opens up. You got to be ready to shoot it.
Another denial on the inbounds, going to stay with Stanford. We saw Waterman enter for Ohio State, and Alexa Hart, who battled an ankle sprain throughout the preseason, has come on as well, number 22 in white. Inbounds knocked away. Carrington recovers for Stanford.
Now, both Hart and Waterman did not play in their exhibition contest.
McPhee, open look, and she gets the bounce. Brittany McPhee with now 8 early points.
A matchup zone by Stanford in this first quarter.
Here's Mitchell. Over Carrington. Short. And over the back. The rebound and foul. Alexa Hart, who just came in for the Buckeyes. If she made that, that would have brought you out of your seat.
I almost fell out of my seat on just the crossover alone. I mean, she has so many different weapons in terms of her ball handling ability. To get the defense off balance for a brief second. And while they're recovering, that shot is in the air. It's just a beautiful thing to watch.
Tara Vanderveer trying to find the right rotations early in this season. She's brought on freshman Alyssa Jerome, number 10 in maroon. As Sneezek is fouled by Lene Harper. And it's a third foul, make that the fourth on the Buckeyes.
Yeah, Lene Harper went right to the body of Sneezek, and you cannot do that. You know exactly where the offensive player is going for the most part. Beat them to that spot and turn them the other way.
Cardinal 8 of 12 from the field to start. They've been hurt by 3 turnovers and add another bucket to their total.
Brittany McPhee has been feasting in that mid-range area and baskets at the rim. She's in full-on attack mode.
Mitchell off the screen from Hart to 9 out of bounds by Smith.
Smith with those long arms, and that's one thing that Ohio State needs to understand. You've got to ball fake bigger players inside. She's right there on her hip. She can feel the shadow.
Look out, coming our way. Out of bounds, it's going to stay with the Buckeyes.
I closed my eyes, did you?
I know you were ready to get out there.
I just put my hand up, I closed my eyes.
It's one of those where when you go down the roller coaster and they take the picture.
Oh, yeah. I've had really bad pictures like that.
A lot of action here in the early going. Ohio State with 24 points already in the first 8 minutes. 6 to shoot for Ohio State. Calhoun sizing up McPhee. On a step back. Sierra Calhoun off the mark, and Carrington coasts in for the rebound. Up along for the freshman, Alyssa Jerome.
And Stanford has been pushing the pace. That's what you do against a team who likes to push it. Show them a mirror.
Has hit its last 8 shots on Harper, and the Cardinal will get it back down by 2.
Boy, the tempo for Stanford right now is outstanding. They're pushing the pace, and Ohio State is not turned around and not established or located where the basketball is. And that's the first thing in transition defense. Turn around by half court, recognize where the ball is, and get to the paint.
Shooting 71%. McPhee kept it in control. Too much. And Harper keeps it in bounds for the Buckeyes. Mitchell fires. And the rebound's tapped out by Sneezek. Stanford last year, 32 wins, lost in the Final Four to eventual champion South Carolina. A lot of newcomers, but Smith is back, and she's tied the game at 24.
And Smith is back, and Tara Vanderveer knows that she's missing about 45% of her offense, graduating 3 powerful players from her program, pushed themselves to the Final Four last year.
Mitchell to Harper. The lefties combined, counted for 3.
Lefty to lefty. Renee Harper and Kelsey Mitchell both participated in USA Basketball, the U23 team. And that was a terrific experience for them. They were talking about how they were able to not see themselves as the be-all, end-all. They're not always the go-to person on offense. And it was really eye-opening for both of them.
6 seconds to round out the first quarter for Stanford. Sneezek threw it away. Waterman with the steal. And 10 minutes in the books here in Columbus. Ohio State, Christie, 5 of 11 from 3 in the opening quarter.
Yeah, it's been a test of will so far. High-scoring first quarter here in Ohio. Kelsey Mitchell with the over-the-shoulder. Harper answers with a triple.
Start of the second quarter in Columbus. Opening night in the season. Ohio State leading Stanford by 3. Welcome inside St. John Arena. Ed Cohen with the former Maryland star, Christy Winters-Scott. Last year, the Buckeyes 5th in the country in scoring. So you look at this start, 27 first quarter points.
Well, that's the MO for Ohio State. They want to push the tempo. They're getting the defensive stops. They're getting to the glass, and that's affording them great opportunities on the offensive end. But can they sustain that? I think Stanford has also done a good job of pushing tempo as well. So I think it has been a battle of wills in terms of pace and tempo.
The Cardinal closed the first quarter, hitting 9 of their last 10 shots. Shot 69%. Buckeyes at 40%, but they lead by 3. Hart finds Waterman for 3, and she bangs it in. How's that for a start to the weekend?
Well, hey, you got to take the shot. Coaches don't like when players pass up shooting opportunities. Lift it. See what happens.
Carrington trying to answer. She cannot. Offensive rebound. McPhee goes to work. And they come up empty on 2 tries. Loose ball foul on Alyssa Jerome.
Boy, Brittany McPhee is relentless inside. It doesn't matter about her size. It's her ability and her recognition and her pursuit of the basketball that has been so impressive in this first half.
Christy, how about Michaela Waterman? Hit 1 3 all of last year. Has her first of this season off glass, no less.
Bank.
In and out for Harper. And out comes Stanford off the miss.
Ohio State did a better job that time of finding the basketball in transition defense. Slowed the pace, and now Stanford has to go into a quarter-court set.
Nice pass. Carrington inside. Lays it in off the assist from Marta Snezik.
And that was just lack of awareness on the defensive end by Ohio State. The ball just went right by the face of the defenders inside.
Harper on a switch. Knocked away and a steal. Knocked away by Smith. 3-on-1 break. McPhee all the way down. Scoops it in.
Goal line, Brittany McPhee.
Well, the fast break situation right now for Stanford, I would say, is a bonus. I mean, that's something that Tara Vanderveer said that she wanted to key in on for her team, but now I think it's an Ohio State issue.
Told us before the game, wanted to see great effort. They're back within 2. Reverse layup denied there. Chance for Doss. Cardinal chance to tie or take the lead. McPhee way off the mark. Waterman on the deck. And a tie-up. And the arrow says it stays with Stanford.
Take a look at Carrington right here. Finishing inside, just making herself available. And then Brittany McPhee off to the races. Look at all the lanes are filled for Stanford. She's ahead of everyone and takes it in by herself. She's just been phenomenal in terms of her attack. You know, she averaged 13 points. She's the leading scorer returning for the Cardinal. In the NCAA tournament last year, she was averaging 16.8 points. Shot 44% from 3. So her evolution has been coming. It's not a surprise to see her play this consistently well offensively.
McPhee now on the bench. Mitchell with the block shot. Here comes Ohio State. Mitchell steps through and with English puts it in.
That's to her non-dominant hand. Kelsey Mitchell with the right. Underhanded flip off the glass.
She has 12 on 5 of 10 shooting. Buckeyes back up by 4. Open look, and Jerome knocks down the 3. Late closeout that time from Asia Doss.
You cannot be late on your rotation. If you are moving to the ball after it's caught, that shot is already up. You may as well not even try to contest it. You have to arrive on the catch to disrupt the rhythm of the shooter.
Harper trying to answer, was knocked away by Snezik. Reset for the Buckeyes. 9 to shoot. Here's Calhoun, New York City native. Well defended by Smith, who has another steal. Cardinal chance to take the lead. Carrington off balance. Oh, late whistle from behind. And it's on Kelsey Mitchell.
Actually, was trying to get out of the way, but made some contact in doing so. Just right here, the steal, the block and steal by Kelsey Mitchell, and then the stretch and finish with the right. And then watch after, she's going to tell you she's been in the weight room right here. Ooh, been in the weight room. I could use my right hand. Love it.
Third time
Second for
named
Stanford,
preseason
Brittany
player of the
McPhee.
year in the Big Ten. Two-time player of the year. She holds 14 school records, but she has bigger sights and team goals for her senior season, no doubt.
No, absolutely. And it's more than basketball for Kelsey Mitchell. You know, she knows that she'll play in the WNBA, but she did an over summer internship called Bucks Go Pro. And it sets up student athletes for the business world. So she really got her foot in the door and really enjoyed that opportunity. So she's looking far down the road in terms of getting her business acumen on point.
Wonderful young woman, as Smith is too strong on the layup. Many believe will be the first pick in the WNBA draft 2018. She sets up Doss for three, and the rebound falls to Carrington. Kiana Williams, the star freshman, short, and over the back. Rebounding foul on Alana Smith. That's her first.
Smith, you can see, was just out of position, and you know, it's very tempting for post players when they see the ball in the vicinity. You think you can, you know, outstretch or out-jump the other players, but if you're not in position, you just can't risk it.
Stanford right now enjoying its first lead since scoring the opening basket here tonight. Mavunga over Smith, selling those great moves she developed in the offseason.
It was a nicely executed horn set by Ohio State. Spreads the floor. Gives an isolation look inside for Mavunga for the finish.
Smith a lob. Carrington lost it, but a foul. And it's on Sierra Calhoun. That's her first tonight.
Well, just take a look here. You see the two posts at the elbow, and then Kelsey Mitchell passed to the other post and then came up and set a bump screen, a little rub for Stephanie Mavunga, and that nice soft turnaround shot. So great spacing and execution offensively for Ohio State. They need more of that.
Kaylee Johnson picked up 2 quick fouls. Back in for Stanford here in the second quarter. McPhee gets free, short. And out comes Doss with the rebound. Harper left open, and she drains it from the similar spot from earlier.
And that's just textbook fast break. It almost looks like Golden State, Minnesota Lynx, just how rapidly they score from any point on the floor in transition.
I know why you were thinking Minnesota Lynx.
Yes.
As Johnson's denied there by Mavunga, but it's lost out of bounds by Lene Harper. Because earlier today, Cheryl Reeve, head coach of Minnesota, the Lynx addressed the Buckeyes during shoot-around.
Yeah, told them to stay in the moment. That's what Kelsey Mitchell's doing, feeding her teammates, and they are feasting from three in transition.
Ohio State 7 of 14 from three-point range. Last year shot it at 35%. I a big part of what Kevin McGuff and his team do.
Well, they want to spread the floor, especially with the presence inside, with Stephanie Mavunga in there. I mean, she had 23 points and 28 rebounds in their exhibition game a week and a half ago, and she's healthy this season. She made second team all Big Ten, did Stephanie Mavunga last year, but she was missing in action, a little disjointed, didn't come back until very late in the postseason to join the team as they tried to make their push in the NCAA tournament. So just to have her on the floor, I think that really creates special opportunities for the guards.
Referees taking a look. The shot clock reset just to see if the ball hit the rim before it was knocked out of bounds. Kevin McGuff, former coach at Washington and Xavier, looking for his first ever win against the Cardinal. Never hit the rim, so the shot clock at 16. And off the inbounds, foul here on Harper for Ohio State. Team foul number 3. And for Lene Harper, she picks up her second foul.
Well, the depth on the perimeter is impacted. We were talking about they only have a couple of walk-ons on their team. They don't have a lot of depth in the guard spots. Ohio State needs to stay foul-free, allow themselves to stay on the court a little longer.
Doss, the look off, drives. Mavunga trying to clean up. They crash on the baseline. And it's going to stay with Ohio State. Top 10 matchup to start the season. The 5th-ranked Buckeyes leading Stanford.
Performance of the game, Samantha Prahalis, a career high and a Buckeye record, 41 points.
That's how every senior wants to walk off the floor.
One of the great moments, 10 years on BTN, and over 5 years ago, Samantha Prahalis, one of the many recent greats to walk through these gates here on campus.
Well, there are so many people who I run into who say, I love the way Samantha Prahalis played the game. I mean, fans of all ages, genders. I mean, she was magnificent. She loved the game and showed it, played it with passion.
Hard can't connect for the Buckeyes. Mavunga battles. She could be one of the greats this season. A nice save, but right into the hands of Sneezik. Harrington for Stanford. And Hart comes back for the rebound. Throws it away, trying to stay in bounds, and then Calhoun takes it back.
Just a wise defensive choice initially by Kelsey Mitchell just to get in the way, to throw the footwork off for Harrington.
All right, so let's follow this possession, this game of hot potato. Mitchell, quick three, too much, and a rebound for Sneezik. If you add Mitchell to the list of other greats since 2005, Buckeyes won 13 straight years with at least one player on the first team in the Big Ten. That's incredible.
It was phenomenal, and that just speaks to the Big Ten and the rich history that it possesses.
Here's Calhoun. Smith with the box out for the Cardinal. Jessica Davenport, Jantel Lavender, you mentioned Prahalis, Taylor Hill, Maris Alston, and Mitchell, 3-time first team All Big Ten.
In Kelsey Mitchell's first 2 years, Amaris Alston was that voice on the court, and now Kelsey Mitchell has been that.
Oh, Mavunga, long shot off glass, just like Waterman earlier.
Well, she saw Waterman do it and said, hey, let me try it. Mavunga gets it to go.
7 now for Mavunga. Smith can't connect. It's tracked down by the North Carolina transfer. Buckeyes have scored the last 7 points.
Ohio State needs to be more deliberate here offensively. They were very good when they were patient and poised with their decisions with the ball.
Hard coming back from the ankle injury. Mavunga, offensive rebound and a stick back.
Yeah, something Stephanie Mavunga will bring this team is a presence inside. And that will give them those second and third chance opportunities at close range.
Buckeyes match their largest lead. Lost, deflected. It's going to stay with Stanford.
And we spoke about Stephanie Mavunga changing her diet. She's quicker to the basketball. She's stronger. Her body feels better in terms of recovery. She played 31 minutes in their exhibition game, and she said the next day she felt so much better than she had ever felt before playing big minutes like that. And we already said that Hart and Waterman didn't play, so that's why her minutes were heavy in that contest.
Crazy to think she averaged 21 minutes last year and still averaged a double-double.
Right, 11 points, 11 rebounds last year for Mavunga. Look for those numbers to double. No pun intended. She has looked absolutely outstanding.
Shot clock is coming down. Carrington off the mark, and Mavunga's fouled by the freshman Maya Dotson. That's the first on the Stanford freshman. Look at that list last season, double-double in the Big Ten.
There you see the first two are off to the WNBA, Nia Coffey and Brianna Jones. And Gustafson, she has just been a strong presence inside. Still a lot of game ahead of her. Still a young player, only a junior.
Again, 4 of the first 9 picks in the WNBA draft out of the Big Ten. Sounds great. Problem is now you lose so many great players entering the season.
After they bring back 5 of the top 10 scorers in the Big Ten from last year. Kelsey Mitchell leading the list.
Mavunga, preseason All-Big Ten team, 5th-year senior, and last year the 3rd in Buckeye history to average a double-double.
Trapping action here by Ohio State, and it's very tempting to reach in, but you've got to chase and recover. Chase and recover. Looked like a run-jump action defensively by Ohio State. Mitchell got behind the basketball and reached in.
Second foul on Kelsey Mitchell. Number 4 in the Buckeyes here in the second quarter. Stanford with 3. Pick and roll. Fingal inside, doubled and fouled. And one of the returnees is sophomore Nadia Fingal going to the line for the Cardinal.
And Nadia Fingal, her dad Andrew Fingal played at George Mason University, a 6'8" post player, but just right here, a strong presence inside, tried to get it up on the glass. A lot of body contact made by the Buckeyes in there.
2 shots.
And you remember her father when he played.
I do. Yes, he was quite a presence at George Mason. I was coaching there. I was a very young coach when I was coaching at George Mason.
A couple of years ago.
A couple of years ago, you know, back in the day, a little bit. But yeah, she has a strong resemblance to him. I saw her today at practice, but just that strong presence in there as well, very similar to her father.
Stanford now 5 of 6 at the line. The lead is 7 for the Buckeyes. Final 80 seconds, first half. Mitchell playing on with 2 fouls. Steps back. Hart lost the rebound. Out come the Cardinal.
I've said that Alexa Hart, her conditioning isn't that good because of that high ankle sprain that she's recovering from. And, you know, you can kind of see her pushing herself back up the court, kind of wincing a little bit. Not in pain, but you can tell that her cardio isn't quite where she wants it to be.
Tara Vanderveer back in the building. It's funny, she came in during shoot-around, pointed to the bench and said that was Ohio State's bench back in the day here at St. John Arena. Nice move there by Mitchell. And Hall of Fame coach calls for time for Stanford.
And going back to that, she was coaching at Ohio State and beat Stanford by 30 points from that bench. So a lot of ties to Ohio State. Tara Vanderveer, the Hall of Famer.
What a run she had here at Ohio State. 1981 to 1985, 110 victories. And it's funny, you look at the banners here.
Yep.
At St. John Arena, you see the 1960 Men's National Championship. She went to Indiana, you mentioned, as an undergrad and learned so much from a member of that Ohio State team in Bobby Knight.
Absolutely. She used to sneak in and watch those games. She pointed at where she sat during those games. She just learned so much, and she's just a basketball savant, and just her presence alone commands respect. And just to be in her presence, there's the Big Ten Championship banner from 1985, and it's just wonderful to see that she has been able to sustain that and adjust her philosophy over the 39-year storied career. Tara Vanderveer, hats off.
Number 32 at the Farm in Palo Alto. Reached 1,000 wins last year in February.
And one of 3 coaches, Pat Summitt being one and Mike Krzyzewski being another.
Down here on Waterman. See Vivian Stringer, by the way. Could get there this year. 23 wins away from 1,000. We'll see.
We'll see. Tara Vanderveer coached the 1996 Olympic gold medal team. And that's that team, remember, who spurred the WNBA, all those players we got next, all the advertisements for that. She kicked that off, and that was just an amazing run. Went undefeated, 52-0 in the exhibition play, and then 8-0 in the Olympic run.
Back into the Buckeyes, Kelsey Mitchell.
And then you look at all that what Stanford lost. I already talked about how it was 45% of their offense, but it was Leanna Roberson, Erica McCall, Carly Samuelson, all of them. You know, and you look at the roster and say, well, they look so young.
Right.
And Tara is not afraid of any challenge. Every year is going to be different. It changes dynamics every year anyway. You just have to step up. It's next player up mentality at Stanford.
Turnover, McPhee with the steal. As Dotson, instead McPhee off the wrong foot, scoops it in.
Good by Brittany McPhee.
Turnovers have piled up. 5 now for the Buckeyes. Shot clock off. They can hold for one. 9 seconds to go, second quarter. It's Mitchell. Big rebound, Calhoun. And she gets the bounce. Sierra Calhoun will have a chance at three with 4.6 to go before the break.
Presence in the paint. Presence on the boards. Fans loving it. The extra effort. A little steal again by McPhee. A little hesitation, off balance off of that same foot. Shot goes up by Mitchell. That's when you do your work. When the shot is in the air, that's when you maneuver, get inside, get position, and get the bucket.
And they are revved up. This is the start of a big weekend here in Columbus. At the Horseshoe tomorrow at noon, Michigan State in the house. Skull session in this building before the game here at St. John Arena.
That's awesome in terms of the environment.
At the horn, glass and good for McPhee. And the Cardinal answer at the buzzer. They're down by 6.
Oh, my. Glass. Another bank shot. 3 times the charm. My goodness. Well, you don't want to foul in this situation, but McPhee throws it up right at the half-court line. Glass. That was terrific. You got to give it a chance, right? Throw it up there, see if it goes in, and when it does, look at the emotion and the passion. The reaction from her teammates is priceless, but that's who she is. I mean, Brittany McPhee has been amazing in this first half. Relentless.
In basketball terms, that was from way out Palo Alto. 6-point game at the break. Rick Pizzo, Vera Jones with the halftime show after this on BTN. Tomorrow, another great slate of Big Ten football comes your way with a doubleheader on BTN. And on Fox, the Buckeyes clash with the Spartans in a pivotal East Division matchup. All starts with BTN Tailgate tomorrow on BTN and Fox, and streaming live on BTN To Go and Fox Sports Go. First half stats of this one from Columbus. Buckeyes shoot only 39%, but they had 13 offensive rebounds. Second chance points, huge. 13-0 against the Cardinal. Welcome back inside St. John Arena. Ed Cohen with Christy Winter-Scott. So a buzzer beater to end the first half. Tara Vanderveer back here in Columbus, and a lot of star power. Should be a great second half here.
Absolutely. The game went back and forth, literally. The pace was really blistering. Ohio State, they're known for that, but Stanford was pushing it as well. Starting with Brittany McPhee. She had her hands on all the loose balls out there. She got the pace pushed for Stanford, getting easy scoring opportunities. She played 19 minutes, had 17 points. And speaking of defense, Kelsey Mitchell, you think about all of her offensive prowess and skill. She can do both very well. Kelsey Mitchell going to her offhand on that one and finishing strong. Just 11 points now behind the great Katie Smith, who was recently named the head coach of the New York Liberty and the WNBA.
Katie Smith was a freshman on the only Ohio State team that's made it to the Final Four in 1993. And you know, this Buckeye team with the Final Four in this city, the expectations are no question high for this group.
Yeah, Cheryl Swoops spoiled things for Ohio State in 1993, scoring 48 points in that contest. And Katie Smith had plus 30 in that game, but she also played on that gold medal team in 96 for Tara Vanderveer.
Third quarter underway. Mavunga too much. Second chance again for Ohio State, and Calhoun is going to the line. The offensive class has been huge for the Buckeyes throughout this contest.
And they need to command the glass. They had a +6 advantage at halftime, 27-21, but mostly due to their effort on the offensive boards. With those 13 boards and 13 second chance points, that's what Ohio State needs to do to manufacture easy offense inside.
Kevin McGuff, 5th year with the Buckeyes. And Sierra Calhoun, someone who started every game last year. She and Mitchell, the only two. And Ohio State with an 8-point lead, matching their largest.
Ohio State applying some pressure after those made free throws, but Stanford finding the open areas along the sidelines to push it up the floor.
Opening night here in Columbus on BTN. Tara Vanderveer and her team Going to stay a couple more days. Big showdown on Sunday against #1 Connecticut in the countdown to Columbus. Ohio State is going to meet in the other side of that doubleheader with Louisville.
Yeah, Louisville is #9 in the country, and UConn, what a test that would be for this young Stanford team on Sunday. But I love the countdown to Columbus. The Final Four will be right down the road here. Exciting times for women's basketball.
The season ends here, but don't forget two of the best matchups early in the season. Nationwide Arena on Sunday. Catch and shoot for Doss. Nice set up there by Mitchell, and she drains a three.
Pushing tempo, and that's the thing. In transition defense, yes, everyone's going to suck into the lane, but you've got to get out to those shooters because they want to pop those threes early in their offense.
Johnson swarmed. Sneezik fakes, sets up McPhee. Too much. And Mitchell clothesline coming down with the rebound. The foul on Alana Smith.
Well, you have to respect the speed of Kelsey Mitchell. She's getting up slowly there. But you have to respect the speed. She's going to push the tempo. She's bringing the ball up the floor. You're paying so much attention to her. You retreat on that and try to close the lane so she doesn't get a layup. But what that gives up is the outside look. So when you hedge in to stop the drive because the initial defender is off balance, she kicks it out for a wide open 3.
5 assists for Kelsey Mitchell here tonight. Lead is 11, and Mitchell now wants it for 3. Oh, a rare air ball there from Mitchell.
She'll shake that off. From what she told us today, she's not going to let things like that affect her game.
This will go back to Ohio State. Last touch by Kaylee Johnson. Tara Vanderveer turning back to her bench. Maya Dotson, the freshman, on for the junior from Australia, Alana Smith.
Tara Vanderveer really utilizing a lot of her young players. Really be good. I think, it's November, and that's what Tara Vanderveer kept telling us. It's very early. They want to be playing their best basketball in the spring. So these kinds of experiences early are what they need to develop and get better and evolve over the course of the season.
5th best recruiting class in the nation. Mavunga got the denial there, but the rebounds put in by one of those freshmen, Maya Dotson.
I just love her spring. She's just so quick off the floor. Her reactions are cat-like.
Calhoun breaking down Dotson on the attack, and Dotson got a piece. Last touch by the Buckeyes.
Nice read defensively by the young freshman. Stayed right with Calhoun and got a little piece of that. And then it ricocheted off Mavunga's foot.
Tara Vanderveer real comfortable with Sneezik running the point after what she did mainly as a reserve last year. Steps here on Carrington.
That's one thing that Tara Vanderveer really wants to get cleaned up. Attention to detail. A couple times in practice today there were some miscues, and she called them to action in terms of their focus. You have to be disciplined to be focused. Coaches don't want to say things over and over again. They want to see the players take some accountability.
Long 2 for Mitchell. No. Mavunga, yes. Gets the bounce, and Mavunga now with 11 points and 12 rebounds. A double-double in the opener.
Doss all over Sneezik right there, all the way up the court with that one-up pressure.
Buckeyes lead by 11. Carrington wants it to the high post. Sizing up Mitchell, off balance, and Harper, huge rebound on the weak side.
He's one of the better perimeter rebounders in the Big Ten.
A wide open deep 3. Too much there from Doss. Mavunga, another offensive board. Mavunga is going to the line, fouled by Kaylee Johnson. Picked up 2 quick fouls in the first quarter, and now with 3 for the game.
Well, the physical play by Stephanie Mavunga, getting in there, wedging her body in on that weak side, getting that rebound, and then ripping back through, trying to get that drop step to go. But her body is just in such great condition. I can't say that enough. And, Kevin McGuff told us, he said, in the 20 years that I've been coaching, I have never seen the transformation like the transformation of Stephanie Mavunga over the summer. And that's saying a lot. He's seen so many players. Just think about the list. but she made her mind up to do it. And Kelsey Mitchell said she tried it for a couple days, but she didn't want to do it. And Lene Harper said she tried it for about a week, but she just needed to have some juice. So there are just some things where Stephanie Mavunga stayed disciplined with her diet, gave up a lot of the junk food, a lot of the fried food, and is really paying dividends now for her on the court.
She called her old diet whatever's in the house.
Yes.
And now it's strict. And it's led to just an amazing offseason getting in shape. At the turnover, Mitchell. Harper weaves through, offloads, into foul. Before the shot, what a pass there by Harper. And Mavunga, a real problem right now for the Stanford front line.
Well, that was a major find by Harper right here. She's going to squeeze in. You see a little daylight, give a little pitch pass underneath. Too bad there was a foul because that was just such a beautiful pass. Little pocket pass right there, boom. Oh, that's pretty. And just a foul inside by Dotson.
That's a fifth-year player taking a freshman in her first college game for a ride. Harper, no. Mavunga, another chance, and she's going back to the line. Foul this time by Smith. No one can keep her off the offensive glass. 39th career double-double for Mavunga tonight, and showing glimpses of why.
Well, she is just persistent in her pursuit of the basketball on the offensive glass. She's going to find a way to get both hands on the basketball. If she can tip it to herself, that's one thing, but she has just been amazing tonight.
Last year shot it at 68% from the line. Carrington exits for Stanford. On comes the freshman from Canada, Alyssa Jerome. One of two Canadians on the team, along with sophomore Michaela Brewer. And Mavunga 2 for 2. The Buckeyes extend the lead to 14. It is their largest of the game.
All pressure, man-to-man, full court. Just trying to slow the pace. And that was something that we talked about in the first half, Ed, how Stanford was getting up and down the floor. We have not seen that as much so far in the second half.
Smith wants it. Dotson cleans it up. Denied by Calhoun. Block shot, Sierra Calhoun. The Buckeyes chance to extend the lead. Mitchell with some room. Fouled as she released the shot. It's on McPhee. And it looked like her feet were on the line, so it should be a two-shot foul for Kelsey Mitchell.
And she tried to get McPhee off balance there, and she came right into her body. But it started on the defensive end with Calhoun right here getting all ball. Now Ohio State's pushing tempo. There's Mitchell trying to cross over, get some space, and then contact on the shot by McPhee. I think they're trying to have a little conversation about whether it was a 2 or a 3.
Now, I will say this. We're in St. John Arena, which is home to the Buckeyes volleyball team. So you put the basketball lines down, you look from up top, and there are lines everywhere, which could add to some confusion. It looked like it was a 2, and indeed it was.
It was a 2, okay. Oh, Tara Vanderveer. You know, she said she had a little bit of an emotional reaction when she came back into St. John Arena today, especially when she said she walked up in the hallway and looked at the 1982 team and how special that was, and just to have those great memories. And then she said, I can't believe that it was that long ago. Where did all the years go? But just an amazing impact on the game of women's basketball. Tara Vanderveer has coached some of the best players in the world. We're talking about the Olympic team in '96, but just overall throughout her career at Stanford.
4-time National Coach of the Year, 13 Final Fours. Mitchell, meanwhile, hoping the Buckeyes can get to their second in town, no less. And we're just having a scoreboard issue in a building where the Buckeyes, in terms of basketball, play here about once a year. But usually call the Shot their home floor. Shot being occupied tonight, game that just started between the Ohio State men's team and Robert Morris.
Right down the street, so a lot of Buckeyes fans are in this house, and they're right down the street in another house.
And pretty soon, in a couple of hours, relatively speaking, Urban Meyer will lead his Buckeyes through this court. He'll address the fans and then walk to the Horseshoe tomorrow to face Michigan State.
It's a noon kickoff.
Yes. The tents are already up and ready for the tailgate. McPhee knocks down the jumper off the bounce for the Cardinal.
I'm so impressed by Brittany McPhee. And the statement she's making right now for the Pac-12 is going to be so competitive once again this season, top to bottom.
Mavanga going for the rebound is called for the foul. That's her third. And just the first here in the third quarter for the Buckeyes.
McPhee didn't really play a lot her freshman year, and probably midway through her sophomore year saw some daylight in terms of playing time. But this year as a senior, she has just really put it on her shoulders. She wants that leadership role. She wants to be the go-to player. She wants the ball in her hands, like we saw at the end of the first half for clutch moments.
McPhee has already scored 19. And it goes to Smith, another key returnee for Stanford. Tough shot, Hart with the defense. Last touch by Calhoun going for the rebound. Buckeyes, 5th ranked in the country against an old nemesis, Tara Vanderveer, up by 14. Thursday on BTN, Jay Sean Tate and the Buckeyes hit the floor against Texas Southern. Then it's women's hoops as Nebraska takes on Arkansas in Lincoln. It's all Thursday right here on BTN and streaming live on BTN To Go and Fox Sports Go. Here in St. John Arena, a lot of throwbacks, including this.
Hey.
Almost 30 years ago, that's Kevin McGuff in high school, an undefeated season, a championship for Hamilton-Baden High School near Cincinnati.
Yep, they were 28-0, and I asked Coach McGuff what his line was during that game. He couldn't quite remember. He just knew that they won the game, and he had a lot of great memories here as a player, and now as a coach on the sidelines. He's never beaten Stanford. He's 0-5 against Stanford. Lost 3 times in his 2 years at Washington and 2 times during his tenure at Xavier. He would love to get a mark in the win column against a team like Stanford. But right here, here's the look at the last foul. Waterman, rule number 1, get your foot to the baseline and don't let the offensive player cross your face there to get to the other side of the basket. That's when you lose the game in terms of possession. Not the score, whatever the score is, you lose that possession because you give up the baseline.
Kevin McGuff, talking to him this morning, very intrigued to see what his team will be here in the early games of the season. Keep in mind they have Louisville coming up less than 48 hours from now on Sunday.
Exactly. 2 tough tests, and you know, Kevin McGuff and his program, they've never shied away from having a very ambitious out-of-conference schedule, and that's what he hopes will prepare them for a get-over-the-hump postseason, which would be to get past the Sweet 16.
A little less depth this year when you factor in the transfers of Tori McCoy and Kiara Lewis, but at the same time, you shorten the rotation. There's better understanding positionally of what's expected.
And minutes. You know, the depth changes in every position there. Tori McCoy went to Marquette. Lewis went to Syracuse.
Well, they have Harper back. Nice step through. Couldn't connect. And McPhee has been the star for Stanford on the attack. And here comes Mitchell the other way for Ohio State.
Ohio State in this second half has been better at slowing down the pace for Stanford, and that's how they've taken command score-wise in this game.
Active hands there by Harper to snatch the rebound and put in the air ball for Mitchell.
It seems like she doesn't have her legs under the last couple of shots here in the second half.
Smith trying to answer against Hart. Well defended, but a foul. And keep in mind, Hart coming off the high ankle sprain. She's done a nice job, at least in terms of her footwork defensively, staying with the play.
Yeah, it makes it difficult. Your body's not reacting to what you want it to do. The little missed shot there by Mitchell, and then cleaning it up inside was Harper. And then right here, Hart giving a little contact, but she stopped sliding her feet. You know, she had that initial push off of that right foot, but when it came to push off that left foot, and that's the one that has the high ankle sprain, she didn't get there. So she's probably still healing, not 100%. But that's when you know, when players don't show any favoritism to the injury.
A couple of free throws for Smith. Ohio State leads at 60-46. We're under 4 to go in the third quarter. Buckeyes, a preseason top 5 ranking for the 3rd time in school history. Stanford off a Final Four appearance, number 10 in the AP. Kick out. Waterman, no. Hart weak side. Off the bounce. Yes. Offensive board again. And a putback.
Well, she looked healthy right there. And her teammates loving the effort on the offensive glass, which has been the X factor for the Buckeyes tonight.
Stanford ice cold after a great start. Hit 11 of their first 16. But have made just 7 shots since. Sneezik off the heel. And here comes Harper. Help comes. Harper 1 against 3. Blows by everybody and scores. And Tara Vanderveer tapping the shoulder. She wants a timeout with 3:07 to go in the third.
Ohio State has been imposing their will in this second half. They have taken complete control because of their relentless pursuit of the basketball, getting second chance opportunities. Playing great defense gives you easy offense on the other end. Timeout, Stanford.
Tonight, men's basketball returns to BTN as Miles Bridges leads second-ranked Michigan State into action. Then on Sunday, catch a triple header featuring the Boilermakers, Badgers, and Hoosiers on the floor. Big Ten basketball tonight and Sunday right here on BTN and streaming live on BTN To Go and Fox Sports Go. AP Top 10, Christy, here in the preseason.
Well, there you go. 2 of them right in front of us right now. And you see South Carolina, they take on Maryland on Monday. That's going to be a big matchup in College Park, Connecticut. They're going to be playing Stanford on Sunday. And Louisville, you see right there at number 9, taking on Ohio State on Sunday. So it's a great start to the new year when everyone wants to challenge one another to see and get a gauge on where they are with all their practicing against one another. Now let's test and see where we are. Let's put our toe in the water and see if we can handle the heat.
And your alma mater really stepping into the deep end. 3 starters gone, and Brianna Jones, as well as Shatori Walker-Kimbrough, Destiny Slocum. But you have the younger sister of Brianna Jones, Stephanie, in the mix now. And Brenda Fries always says it's not about the beginning of the season. We'll be ready by March.
Right, especially with the services of Ileana Christodaki, who is going to be another lethal point guard in their back pocket that they can utilize and transfer out of Florida. Averaged 17 points for the Gators, now in a Maryland uniform.
Mitchell with English. Chance at 3 coming up. 18 tonight for Kelsey Mitchell in the opener.
Well, her jump shot wasn't falling, so she said, let me just get to the rim and try to get my rhythm with my shot. That's what you do. You get by not just 1 layer of defense, but 2. And then on that second layer fouls you, and you get to the line and get the and-one.
You alluded to her work over the summer with Team USA. We spoke to her this morning. She said it wasn't so much what she did with the ball in her hands, but when it wasn't in her hands. Thing is, for Ohio State, it's going to be in her hands a lot.
Right, and she was one of 5 current collegiate-level players that were invited to the USA trials. So she was there on the team with Sue Bird, and she was off the ball. Sue Bird was, of course, the point guard, the consummate point guard, when they were working out, and she just said it was very freeing for her to try to make different reads without the ball in her hands so much. So it just gave her a different level of respect for the game.
Out here on Calhoun, when you play with the WNBA's all-time leader in assists,
yes,
Sue Bird reaching that mark this year. Sit back, off the ball, watch, and pay attention.
Yeah. Keep your eyes on the basketball, keep your hands up, be ready to catch it and shoot it. Sue Bird, phenomenal talent in the WNBA with the Seattle Storm.
2 and change to go, third quarter. Ohio State up by 19 on Stanford. A game that they led by 6 at the break. And free throws coming up for the Cardinal. Nadia Fingal, the sophomore, will go to the line for the visitors. Foul here taken by Alexa Hart of Ohio State. That's her third. Fingal from the state of Florida started 8 games last year, in large part because Kaylee Johnson was out with a foot injury. And Johnson here tonight has been mired in foul trouble.
Back in for the Buckeyes.
Speaking of greats from the WNBA, Cheryl Reeve, head coach of the Minnesota Lynx, another championship here in 2017.
Yeah, still has the glow of a championship with the Minnesota Lynx. They got it done. Rebecca Brunson, the only player in WNBA history with 5 championships. A DC native.
I knew you were going to eventually go there.
I had to say it.
Along with Christy Winter-Scott, I'm Ed Cohen. Opening night here on BTN, and another foul on Stanford. Taken here by Fingal is going to send Kelsey Mitchell to the line for the Buckeyes with both teams in the bonus.
When you look at this Ohio State team, ranked 5th in the country, you know, Maryland's at 15. Michigan coming off of a WNIT championship last year. They're ranked 24th, the first time Michigan's been ranked in the top 25 since 2001. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch and see how the Big Ten Conference unfolds this year. You know, they lost a lot of players. Yes, we were talking about that, but there are still so many fantastic players to follow and track throughout this year.
And you know, Michigan, even after winning the WNIT, they are hungry.
Yes, they are.
To get back to the big dance after what was a tough call to hear last season.
Nellie Thome, Caitlin Flaherty, you know, they are chomping at the bit to get things started in conference play after the new year.
Off the miss, Buckeyes running. Lead is 20. Mitchell, quick release. Offensive board, Harper down low, Mavunga. And the rebound ripped down by Carrington.
She won't miss many of those, but she shot that with her right hand on the left-hand side.
Stanford comes back and adds to their total. It's Dotson, and it's a 69-51 Ohio State lead.
Stanford's not going away, so Ohio State cannot relax in terms of their execution.
Nice feed, Mitchell. Calhoun, no. Carrington, another rebound. But Ohio State still plus 16 overall on the glass. McPhee, glass, couldn't connect. And Ohio State not slowing it down. Harper down low. Calhoun reverse was in too deep, and back we go the other way.
Now Calhoun got stuck under the rim.
McPhee stepped through. Crowd thought she traveled. Instead, they count the bucket and a foul. And McPhee's going to the line as Kevin McGuff is none too pleased.
You know, the entire bench for Ohio State was doing the travel motion, and the entire bench for Stanford was up and cheering. Now, let's take a look. McPhee right she took a little extra, I think, on the second. Let's watch. Dribble, gather. Pivot foot's right there. She put it back down.
So what you're saying is, at the time when you were a great player at Maryland, you got those calls.
No, I didn't. Vicky Bullock no, I'm just joking. Vicky Bullock got the calls. No, I think she took an extra half step on that one. Because she had her pivot, she picked up that foot, and then she brought it back down right before she shot it.
There you go.
It was before she let it go.
Mitchell is back on the bench. She went there very briefly in the second quarter. Mitchell back there now. So get a little rest here to close the third quarter with Ohio State leading by 15.
Another horn set. There's that back screen for the post trying to isolate Mavunga inside.
Hard skip pass. Harper catch and shoot for three. And Mavunga in deep was fouled. And it's on Shannon Coffey, the Dayton, Ohio native for Stanford.
Stanford foul number 2, Shannon Coffey.
McPhee has been terrific. 24 points. She's 11 of 21 and banked in a shot from midcourt at the buzzer. She scored 24 of Stanford's 54 points so far.
She has been outstanding for Stanford and definitely showing Tara Vanderveer that she can rely on her and trust her ability to sustain her production on the court. Very impressive to say the least.
It'll take time. Tara Vanderveer knows that. 10 players back, but only 2 starters in McPhee and Johnson.
And only 4 with quality college experience in terms of minutes, in-game minutes.
Sneezing, the ball handler's 1, number 13 in red. 5 seconds to round out the quarter, and we're going the other way. Offensive foul, and Smith looks like she took the worst of it, hobbling, getting back up on her feet.
Yeah, let's see what happened. Let's keep your eye on Smith right there. It looks like she turned an ankle. You couldn't really actually tell if it was an ankle or the knee. We could tell her right leg just kind of buckled. She's right to the trainer. And she's holding her knee, it looks like.
Buckeyes by 16. Final 5 seconds here in the third quarter. It's Mitchell. 2 seconds. Mitchell throws it up and wide. And after 3, Ohio State leads 70-54. Stephanie Mavunga, a new career high with 18 rebounds, Christy.
She has just been a machine inside. Stephanie Mavunga putting teams on notice in the Big Ten in the paint.
That looked like his own skull session here at St. John Arena. 3 quarters in the books here in Columbus. Ohio State plus 10 in the third. Christy Winter-Scott, they lead 70-54.
Well, it's been all about the rebounding prowess of Ohio State. A 48-32 advantage overall, but at a 25-2 advantage in second chance points. And a 22-6 advantage on the offensive glass. So they have just willed their way to gaining those easy possessions and getting a live ball turnover here is Doss.
To Mitchell, lays it up and in. Kelsey Mitchell with 23 here tonight. Ohio State has scored 10 points off Stanford turnovers.
I think the difference in the second half has been all about the defense for Ohio State as Fingal gets that 3 to go from up top.
It's the third three-point make for Stanford. They're 3 of 10. Ohio State has made 8 threes. And getting a little more at the rim, courtesy of their best three-point shooter, and maybe when the season's over, the best three-point shooter in the history of the women's college game.
Well, right when that play unfolded, Tara Vanderveer got up and went to her bench and substituted someone in because that just looked too easy defensively. And Kelsey Mitchell is talented, but somebody's got to step in her way.
How about Mavunga? Block shot. Denial inside of Carrington. Mitchell, 2 threes tonight, 28 shy of tying Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis for the all-time mark. Came in with 368, the all-time mark of 398.
Definitely going to be surpassed.
Yes. Barring something really unforeseen.
Sure. But I'm telling you, it's just a blur.
A blocking foul here on Fingal is going to send Mitchell back to the line.
Well, it's been all defense in the second half for Ohio State. Asia Doss right there, just 2 hands on the basketball. Kelsey Mitchell finishing right at the rim, steal and score. And then right here in the quarter court, it just cannot be that easy. The defense needs to rotate over. Yes, okay, you beat that first line, but that second line needs to be present and accounted for right there to back up the basketball. Not there. Tara Vanderveer got somebody off the bench. It's the universal nonverbal sign for a coach to look down the bench when things like that happen.
With that free throw, Kelsey Mitchell now into second place, past Katie Smith on the Ohio State career scoring list and 4th all-time in Big Ten play. A lot of big names on that list.
No doubt. And I know Katie Smith pretty well, and I know that she would be happy
Yes.
that record has been broken. That's why they're made.
Intercept, another steal. It's Harper. Has Calhoun. Harper instead, no. Mavunga, another rebound. Already with a career high. Mitchell hits from 3, and the crowd comes alive in Columbus. Hart's going to be pulling a lot of rope at this rate. McPhee, tough shot. Harper well defended. Christie, a big concern for Kevin McGuff when you look at the size, not a lot of depth on his team. How can his guards rebound? Harper may be one of the best perimeter players rebounding in the Big Ten.
No doubt. And she has a great read on the basketball and a presence with her body inside. So you might not think she's going to attack the glass the way that she does, and that's her secret.
22-point Ohio State, their largest lead of the game. Fingal hits another 3, this time right in front of her own bench.
Nice soft touch by the 6'3" forward. Nadia Fingal getting it done from range the last couple of possessions for the Cardinals.
Can't blink the way Mitchell runs the floor. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Mavunga. Mavunga, though, 20 rebounds. It's opened so much for Ohio State.
Well, this is one of those 20 rebounds, Ed, right there. Couldn't take a shot. It was 1-on-4 inside. So what do? Pitch it outside. Kelsey Mitchell, the left-handed three ball. And their teammates having a great time on the bench. That's the best part. I mean, the games and the camaraderie, you miss all that. But that kind of emotion, players miss that the most when they're done. Or maybe it's just me. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody.
We are happy that you're doing what you're doing now.
But I just love that passion and that display of joy for your team. It's not all about you. It's about the team and the team doing well.
And this is a group of players that have played together for a long time. Not one true freshman scholarship player on the Ohio State roster. And only one sophomore in Jensen Coretti. Very experienced group.
Jensen Coretti is dunking in practices, so she's on the horizon for the Buckeyes. But Kelsey Mitchell told us today that, you know, this group is in sync. They have a bond. Sometimes they don't even need to say anything. They look at each other and they know that that means, hey, come on. It's time to pick it up, or hey, we know what we need to do. And it's that unspoken word that means so much, especially for an experienced team, bringing back 9 players and 8 upperclass.
Mavunga back in. She's played 24 minutes. Anna Wilson, number 3 in red, in for Stanford.
Oh, great defense by Calhoun, cutting that baseline off. Did you see her feet?
Nowhere for Jerome to go. Has it again. Off the screen, drills the 3. Give Fingal credit. She released Jerome after Calhoun was all over her.
Well, that was a great read to ball fake an aggressive defender, because you know they're going to bite on that. That cleared the space for her to take that shot, plus the screen by Fingal.
6 and change to go here in Columbus. Calhoun. Mavunga kept it in bounds. Harper off the bounce. And the rebound's ripped down by Dotson. Ohio State moments ago led by 22. And now Stanford with a couple of free throws here for Marta Snezik with under 6 to play.
Stephanie Mavunga cleared that one like a volleyball, just to make sure there was no N1 opportunity for Stanford on that play. Her whole hand on that one.
And Snezik will go to the line here for Stanford, native of McLean, Virginia, and someone who Tara Vanderveer wants to see a little more aggressive when she has the open shot. She is very good at finding her teammates.
Yeah, she has 8 siblings, so she knows how to share the wealth, if you will.
Usually it's the other way around.
True.
That's
true.
impressive.
We're sharing.
Waterman on, so Mitchell will get a breather with 5:47 left. Tapped around, Dotson, look what I found, but she couldn't finish it. And Ohio State retrieves. Mitchell on the bench. She has scored 30 points tonight, 21st career 30-point game. No look out for Calhoun. Open lane, denied by Fingal. It'll stay with the Buckeyes, 11 to shoot.
I don't know what kind of block I like the most, the ones that are clean and just swatted into like the 5th row, or ones like that that just get cuffed and just missed. Oh,
useful.
Really. It's a toss-up. They're both very good.
Let's see what Ohio State can do here. Shot clock down to 9. Doss hangs, can't finish. Mavunga, no tap needed because they called the foul, sending Asia Doss to the line.
Asia Doss, to me, this season has really made her mind up to be a consistent defender. Fleet of foot.
2 shots.
Making great decisions on the offensive end, a little more poised. So that's good to see the maturation of these players. You know, we're talking about the upper-class players for Ohio State, and that doesn't just go on paper. Okay, now you're a senior. There's something that manifests in seniors, that unspoken sense of urgency that you can't coach.
Asia Doss has played in every game her first 3 seasons at Ohio State. Here's Dotson. Well defended by Waterman. Out for Smith. Guess we'll go the other way. Dotson climbing the back of Michaela Waterman, the freshman for Stanford, picks up her 4th foul. And team foul number 3 on the Cardinal here in the 4th quarter.
And going back to Asia Doss and her sustainability over the course of her career, you know, if you can buckle down on the defensive end, you're not going to come off the floor. I don't care if you don't score a point. If you can buckle down on defense, you're going to play.
She has played many minutes over the years. Past the midway point, 4th quarter. Ohio State clings to a 15-point lead. Knocked away. There's Doss again, but Smith controls.
And those deflections makes the offensive player think about what they're going to do a little harder.
Mavunga with another rebound, make it 23 for the game, along with 15 points. Wow.
It's amazing.
She had 23 in the exhibition win against the Division II national champions Ashland from Ohio. But this is a different game against Stanford. Harper spin and the jumper good for Lene Harper. And the Buckeyes will get it back off the turnover.
Ohio State in full command here at home. Lene Harper says, you think I'm coming baseline? I'm coming back to the middle with a nice soft floater.
Ohio State in control as the Buckeyes lead Stanford by 17. We'll get you back to Columbus for the finish in just a bit, but first, don't forget, coming up next, it's men's hoops here on BTN as Miles Bridges and Michigan State take on North Florida, the preseason player of the year, along with one of the newcomers of the year, Jaren Jackson, set to take center stage in less than 19 minutes right here on BTN. But first, we send you back to Columbus for the finish between Ohio State and Stanford.
Thank you, Rick. Ohio State, 5th ranked in the preseason right now here at St. John Arena. Their old home, leading Stanford because Christy Winter-Scott, they have been wonderful on the glass.
28-2 in their second chance points advantage. Ohio State has been relentless in their pursuit of the basketball, and that's why they have the lead that they do at this juncture of the basketball game. Alexa Hart right there putting it back in. 26-7 on the offensive boards. That's what you want. If you look at any stat, that's what we asked Kevin this morning. What do you want to look at? And I'm sure he's going to go right to that and circle the offensive glass as being the X factor for why his team, if they hold on here, will win this game here at home.
You have to remember, Ohio State shooting 35%. This has not been so much an offensive masterpiece. They have come right at Stanford, a team with more size and depth here in the opener.
Well, Ohio State has shown more grit, and grit wins games, no matter how you slice it. If you want the ball, you have to go and get it, and Ohio State has shown that all game.
Nice feed, Doss. Mavunga circles. Calhoun into traffic. Mavunga beats the shot clock with another putback. It was awfully close, but count it.
It was awfully close, but that's why you continue to play. That's why Mavunga has 21 rebounds. She's staying active on the glass. Shot goes up, she's right there. And gets it to go right before the shot clock expires. Nicely done.
If you wondered, did the summer work really pay off? The answer, an unequivocal yes for number 1 in white.
In all caps.
Mavunga block shot, denying Fingal. Putting on a show here in the regular season opener.
Oh, she looks terrific. And she feels good. That's the main thing. You know, it's one thing to look good, but if you don't feel well, you know, especially the recovery that she was talking about, doesn't take her that long to recover anymore. Oh.
Harper putting on the moves. Calhoun takes down another rebound. And she's fouled. And Calhoun will go to the line for 2. But Mavunga on both ends here tonight, Christy.
Well, just great defensive anticipation right here. All ball by Stephanie Mavunga, making it look so easy on the court. But it's her discipline and effort off the court that has made the biggest difference of all.
Stephanie Mavunga, 25 rebounds here tonight, has tied an Ohio State record
She has just been phenomenal, to say the least.
Lene Harper exits. Calhoun good on another free throw. We're 2:42 to play. And remember, Mavunga last year averaging 21 minutes. She's played 28 tonight. That's going to be a big thing, and she's now in the shape to provide those minutes.
Absolutely, and it's not just those minutes. They're productive minutes. She's on the floor doing what the team needs for her to do, and that's kill it on the glass.
9 to shoot for Stanford. Dotson, the freshman, almost traveled. Here's Williams, denied. Waterman with the block. Mavunga running the floor. And alert to say, let's get it to a guard, including one of the best players in the land, if not the best.
I almost thought that she was going to pull a step back three.
Now, if you did that back in your day, Coach would have said...
The son would have been at the table when the shot was in the air. I wouldn't have. Not doing that.
Well, this coach is none too pleased. The Hall of Famer, Tara Vanderveer, 2 national titles, over 1,000 wins. Late in this fourth quarter, calls for time in this... her return to Ohio State, where she told us before this game it was such a hard decision to leave. In 1985, she was wooed by then Stanford Athletic Director Andy Geiger, who later was the AD here at Ohio State.
Right, and she said it was difficult. She said her staff was saying to her, well, actually, it was Amy Tucker, and Amy Tucker is here, and she played actually here at Ohio State for Tara Vanderveer, her junior and senior seasons, and then was on the bench as an assistant coach with Tara Vanderveer until this season where she retired. And they haven't been apart like that since 1980. But with that being said, she said it was such a difficult thing, and Amy Tucker said, we just beat Stanford by 30. Why are you going there? But now we see the full body of work over the course of her career at Stanford has been absolutely magnificent. And this is a reboot, if you will, in terms of having all these young players get on the right page. And 29 bench points compared to Ohio State's 5, that's a good sign. If you're going to give them some positive, that's one good thing.
Block shot, Mavunga denying Coffey. It's going to stay with Stanford. And now Kevin McGuff will turn to his bench. Coretti back on along with Hart.
Right here. Body foul right there. Okay, Calhoun heading to the bench.
So Mavunga's night is done. What a night it was. 17 points, a new school record, 26 rebounds in 29 minutes. And if Ohio State can have games like this when we're not talking about Kelsey Mitchell being the star, things could bode extremely well for the 5th-ranked Buckeyes.
Hey, 1-2 punch. A 1-2 punch inside, outside. Mitchell now going out. That's what they want to see. They want to see that balance, and they want to see it sustained in an effective manner.
Ohio State, first time picked to win the Big Ten by the coaches and media since the 2010-2011 season. So it's been 7 years. Minute and change to go here in Columbus. And the Buckeyes pass the first test. It'll be their 20th all-time win against a top 10 opponent. 19-32 coming in. A shot clock violation is going to give it back to Stanford. Kevin McGuff's going to turn to 2 walk-ons, Carly Cronin and Savitha Jayaraman.
That's what you want. You want to give everyone an opportunity to get into the game. You see 3 of the starters right there taking a seat, taking a break. But it's a team game. Everyone wants to be a part.
Only 11 players on the roster, 9 on scholarship. Kelsey Mitchell not with the team. Kelsey's sister here tonight. Williams. Oh, Das has been all over the place defensively tonight. Too much from Coffey. And a tie-up will get an arrow here, giving it back to Ohio State. And the crowd here at St. John Arena, this old historic venue built in the 50s. Love the hustle and the fight from the Buckeyes here tonight.
Well, you have to love that. And that's what you want to see. That's what you come to see, the energy and the effort and the focus. And that's what Ohio State has provided for them.
Shot clock off. The Buckeyes and their fans will rise. They talked about handling pressure this season during the shoot-around this morning. Ohio State handles its first test of this new season. 85-64, the Buckeyes over the 10th-ranked Stanford Cardinal on BTN.
64 for Ohio State Buckeyes, 85. Ladies and gentlemen, let's wish a very happy birthday to
What a game for Stephanie Mavunga. A new school record, 26 rebounds. Tara Vanderveer in her return to Columbus. Can appreciate the effort from the opponent tonight.